It's time for the Other Three Amigos podcast.
Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.
On this week's episode of the Other Three Amigos podcast, we discuss Derek Collin becoming the women's team manager. Decky has second thoughts about the club removing themselves off X. Conor Brand gets called up for international duty. We discuss City's lacklustre win over Longford. Wayne and Decky roll back the years and have a good old-fashioned TOTAP argument. Dom gives us the update from Drina. And of course, we have your mailbag as well as the Athlone and Treaty previews. All of this and more on this week's episode of the Other Three Amigos podcast. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 17, Episode 342 of your multi-award winning podcast. Throw us a 5-star rating on whatever podcast platform you're listening in on. Dan Casey here, and I'm joined by my other three amigos. They are Declan McCormack, Wayne Mullins, and Dominic Heffernan. Dominic, I've only been saying Dominic Heffernan, because what's your other surname again?
Tejan is how you pronounce it, but...
Tejan. Yeah, I just couldn't pronounce
Heffernan's
that.
a lot easier. I just go with Heffernan.
Okay. Why not join us on Patreon, patreon.com/TOTAP. We're doing our best with the time we have. You know the spiel, lads. €5 a month to join us over there. You're just helping out the pod, lads, really, at this stage. We're delighted to have NordVPN as sponsors of our podcast. Sign up now for 4 bonus months at NordVPN/TOTAP. You're helping out the pod and you're getting something back, including your 30-day money back guarantee. Wayne, how was your weekend? What'd you get up to?
Not much. It was raining for a lot of it. We won a game, which was didn't make the weekend. Do you know, I felt bad for Hearts fans. I really did. They should have won the Scottish League. They didn't. And it's hard on them.
Dominic, what do you think about Celtic?
I wouldn't be a fan. Not that I'm not a fan. I just don't care about teams that aren't Irish.
Are they not an Irish team though, Dom? Are they not an Irish team?
They might have Irish roots, but they're not based in Ireland.
They're a Scottish team, and if someone... you've dragged me into this now. the thing is, right, you see people, I see it online saying, anti-Brits, anti-this. If you really are pro-Irish and pro-Ireland, and fuck the rest, surely you support an Irish football team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, actually, a team from Ireland. You could say Linfield are probably more Irish, which I know it's kind of a scandalous thing to say, but they're from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what
Listen, I might be getting into politics here. But no,
it took you a second to get the reference.
One thing that kind of stood out to me while we're on this topic, when we played England in the Aviva back in 2024, and all the vitriol there towards the Brits, and rightfully so, and it was just beautiful to hear God Save the Queen being booed by so many people. But then I was sitting there in the stand thinking, this time next week you'll all be supporting your English teams again. So there's something very two-faced about it.
That's our football content award.
You should never
gone down the drain anyway.
I agree with you, Wayne. I wouldn't be in favour of booing any other anthems, but
you can't
have a fair trade-off for 900 years of oppression.
I saw there on Twitter X, because I was just lost with no Cork City news, that Heimer Hallgrimsson was signing a tricolour, and I'm like, lads, what are you doing? Come on. Does anyone respect the flag?
Wayne, would you not boo the Israeli anthem when they're coming to the Aviva?
No, I don't think anyone's anthem should be booed, no matter what you've done. It's not. You're. I just don't think you should. That's just me. Thanks for putting me on the spot. Anyway, now I'll have every
I'm with
bot
Wayne
chasing me now on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Lads, we're not that.
I'm with Wayne overall that you shouldn't, but it was funny. I
can see why people do it, and I can see why it will probably happen when we play Israel. I can see, yeah, okay, I've changed my mind, lads.
Just turn your back to the flag. It's far more disrespectful and it's far more impactful.
Yeah. Bow the head and turn your back.
It photographs much better and whatnot. You don't need to make noise and boo and whatnot. As I said, sometimes silence is way more impactful than agitated noise. And if I was at an Israeli game, that's what I would do. I would turn my back to the Israeli flag and show complete and utter contempt.
That's what should happen, but it won't.
Speaking of Celtic, and we had the Cork Super Cup last year. Is there any word on if there's one going to happen this year?
Haven't heard anything.
No, haven't
That's
heard
probably a
anything.
no song.
Don't know.
That's the GAA for you. That's their event.
It is a GAA event, like, yeah.
How many organisations can be abused today in the first 10 minutes, lads?
We'll take them off. Well, I suppose the GAA, it's all about money, so they clearly didn't make enough money last year. Otherwise, they'd be back.
Come here, the Cork Super Cup could be back. Who knows? I was just going to say I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if it was 2 foreign teams.
Two foreign teams without
Like a
City.
German team and a
Cork
English
Super
team.
Cup between Borussia Dortmund and Aston Villa. Nothing says
Think
Cork
I'd-
Super Cup like that.
I'd probably turn on my grave.
I don't know. Have you plans? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'd see what happens. They'd be announcing it shortly anyway in the next couple of weeks if there was going to be something happening.
Tom, your passion for City is only outmatched by your hatred for the
He's not even
English.
from the city either, which is kind of bizarre.
I don't really hate the English. It's just funny.
Right, we'll drive it on so to a bit of academy watch there, will we?
There's the cover anyway. I don't really hate the English.
What were you saying was the cover?
I don't really hate the English.
All right, okay. Under 20s, they beat Wexford 2-0. Under 17s, they lost to Shells 7-0. Under 15s beat Limerick 5-0. And under 14s beat Wexford 2-0. Decky losing to Shells 7-0. On any age group.
Yeah,
What you make
look,
of
I'm
that?
not going to hammer an under 17 side. It's a cup. I think they were all cup games. It was the cups. I think across the board in the academies. Yeah, it's a poor result. Yeah, I'm not sure what you want me to say. I can't 2-foot an under 17 team. I do you know what I mean? Like, it's just I would never do it. Well, yeah, the Cork City 0, Shelburne 7 is not a result anybody wants to see at any age group.
Wayne, you're looking very concerned.
Yeah, I just think it's a shocking result. Like, I didn't see it, so I can't really comment on it. But losing 7-0 to anybody, it's not great. Who's in charge of them, Decky?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know. You give me 5 minutes, I'll figure it out. But
It's not good. See what happens next week. Stay tuned.
You won't be here anyway, it'll be alright. We'll drive it on so it's a bit of comedy watch.
Jesus, lads. Here we go.
Tommy Watch with Ivan Draco on the Other Three Amigos podcast.
Do you know what I bought last week?
Go on. A
Panini
FIFA.
World Cup sticker album.
Alright, you collecting the
Rekindled
ones
my youth because
the old
like,
Cokes
my
you
young
don't
fella-
know.
Yeah, I do with the young fella, but there's 1,000 stickers in it now this year. 1,000. It's going to cost about €400 to fill it.
Are you going to
Madness.
fork out for it?
But like, every time you go to the shop, you want a pack of stickers.
Hang on. No, sorry, I'm wrong. My apologies. Keep going.
Go on there,
Thanks for
Wayne.
that
Sorry, you were
input,
saying
Dickie.
something.
The worst part is, right, Coca-Cola are doing a batch of stickers that you have to get. So you could pay all that money to fill the album. But unless you get those Coca-Cola stickers, you can't actually fill it. And that meant-
Alright, I didn't realise it was that intertwined that you actually had to get the Coca-Cola ones.
Yeah, you just get the extra ones, and I think there's certain. I think they're Coca-Cola ones, right? But you got to
Those stickers are going to be on every lamppost everywhere all over the country by the end of the summer. It's going to be insanity.
Yeah.
Like balls to the wind sticker.
Down in Fitzgerald Stadium in Killarney, I saw. Made it, actually. Decky, the first game has come by where Cork City were not on X. Was it a weird one for you?
Very weird. The whole week's been weird, and like obviously last week we were all like, "Oh, it's the right decision. It's the right thing to do. It's just bad for the club." And I actually hadn't realised kind of how impactful it is. Because I guess when something's there and you're just used to it, as I said, I used to have the notifications on, so the club would tweet, you'd see, all right, they've under 17s have won, the women have, drawn, whatever might be happening. There's a new jersey, there's a new training kit, there's somebody going to be in Douglas in the shop, there's going to be X, Y, and Z happening. This is on, and the match is on in the cinema, and it's in this cinema, and the one in town, and the one in Middleton. And you're getting all this, and you kind of don't even realise you're picking up the information, but you're just seeing it, and you're, all right, okay, that's cool. And then when there's nothing, kind of going like, fucking hell, I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on anything else. Like, X was my go-to. I don't post much on it, but it was just like, it's just weird. And it really felt kind of by the time the game ended on Saturday night that it was actually a really bad decision from the club. And I know I'm probably reversing what I said last week, but it's just as I said, when you go through the week and you realise the void that's there for somebody who's not on Instagram and not on other things, and I'm not the only one, there's a whole cohort of people like that, you've lost something that you didn't realise was important. Until it's the old adage, like, you don't realise how something is until you lose it, and then only then do you realise it's important. And I think that was the experience I had this week. And I think retrospectively, I think it probably will be a poor decision from the club now long term.
Wayne, I know you tried step in for City on X over the weekend, but
we did, yeah, with a bit of fun. It's just a shame that the ones that were really good didn't score a goal, so they haven't seen the light of day, unfortunately. Literally, the two goal scorers were two lads whose hair didn't change.
You did Greg Bulger dirty anyway.
You should have seen if he scored what would have happened. And Shawnee Maguire was good too, but look, it didn't work. So
I liked your Robson. But anyway, what are your thoughts on City leaving X? Did you miss it?
I did. I'm on X all the
time.
time, and it's just a shame that, like, now the thing is, City didn't get many tweets, likes, retweets. So I imagine they got a lot of views, and it was just little things like checking the score or checking the team lineup. I had to go to Instagram, and it's a lot easier to zoom in on X. You just click it and zoom in, whereas Instagram is it's just a little bit harder, and you're clicking buttons and it's liking, it's doing this and that, and it's just a pain. So I don't know. I just, it's missed 100%. But look, that's what the club did, and I feel sorry for people like Decky, right? He doesn't have Instagram. He doesn't have the fancy dandy blue sky stuff. He just has X and maybe Facebook. I don't know. You on Facebook?
No.
Yeah. So
I have a Facebook account, but I'm never opening it. Like, there's nobody.
People like himself are the ones who lost out. That's the problem.
There's like, do people still use Facebook genuinely?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Bar the like, anything I've ever seen on Facebook is just everything is great. No matter what we do, everybody goes in and applauds, and it just seems like a place for people who don't really understand what's going on in the world. Maybe I'm wrong completely, but
no, you're 100% right. It's just where people poke each other, like so.
Yeah.
Dominic, you've been poked much.
No, I use Facebook to post pictures with like minions on it saying I get paid weekly, and then no, Facebook's a load of shit. Obviously, I don't do that because I'm not in my 50s. But yeah, like overall, I don't really use any social media. I don't use Twitter at all. I'm rarely on anything, but I can completely see how if somebody is only on Twitter and use that as their main source to keep up with the club, then you'd be at a serious disadvantage now this week. If you feel almost cut off from the club altogether.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
And this is genuine, it's just popped into my head now. Did the club do a Rebel Army podcast this week on the X issue, on the leaving X issue?
I did even do a podcast. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
They were on podcasts on Red FM and 96, but
were they on 96? Were they?
They were, I think, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I think no one might have wrong.
The yobs on Twitter.
Yeah, but like, I know they're never going to cut ties over that over what was said on 96 FM. But if they've been on 96 FM, then I just kind of go, well, you know.
There was one up today anyway, Rory Feely, and there was one the 21st of April was the last one.
Okay.
Which is what?
I was just going to say,
what? That's like over a month ago.
Yeah, I thought there would be one done in it, so...
it says Tuesday, which is, I think it's today, so Rory Feely.
Can't be, today is Monday.
Oh, so it's last week.
Are you in the future?
I have no idea. Wixa.
Yeah. So there's one coming out tomorrow. There was one last Tuesday. The point I'm making is there was one last Tuesday. I'm sitting here now 6 days later and I didn't know that podcast came out because I would have seen that on Twitter. And if I was going to listen to it, that's how I would have went into it. And this was just the point I was getting around to making. So I don't listen to many of them. I'm being I've always been open about that. But I didn't even know that there was a podcast out last week. So, do you know?
It is where sports fans hang out. Twitter is where
it is
sports fans and sports people hang out.
That, Dan, so you know, like, you're the expert in this area, like. So.
Well, Jesus. Well, yeah, like, sure, Jesus is one. Like, I catch fire most on Twitter. Like, it's because it's all sports fans too, and it's, you know, people who fucking hate you or whatever. But it is where the people are hanging out. I can see why they're off it. I don't have it on my phone. I just, if I have to go on it for desktop, for the pod, or for work, that's how I do it. I don't have it on my phone anymore. Stops me replying as well, which does only make things worse. So, yeah, I can see why they've done it. But I think as a football club, you probably should be on it, I would think. Try to regulate it as best you can. And I don't know, there is for me a bit of the touch of it stops the Usher moaners, I think, where they're most prevalent. Dom, I know you caused holy war. Do you want to go back to that on the forum a small bit? And reiterate your comments last week?
Well, like the point I was making last week was that the club would be delighted to have gotten a negative reaction from something because they could use it as an excuse to get off Twitter. I was never making a point that they agreed with any of the comments or anything like that. And like, yeah, they've made their point of view very clear in it. They've made their intentions known. So they've said how they feel. They don't agree with the comments. Nobody here thinks that or says that, but yes, some people picked it up wrong. That's what I said, is that they would have been delighted with the negative reaction because they could use it as their excuse. Now, on that, and a point I did want to make last week that I forgot is, well, we know why they're gone off X is because they're soft and they're weak. They can't handle criticism. But that doesn't take away from the fact that there are some people on there who are giving abuse and making it personal and everything. And I think everyone would agree with me that we don't agree with any of that, full stop. And that, I mean, it's just wrong to personally attack somebody and making it personal or anything like that. You don't go on, you don't abuse people. So just don't be a dick, basically. But yeah, that's like, you can also overlook that and just get on with it.
What do you think, Wayne? Has your opinion changed?
Sure, it was abused last week by Dylan McLean's dad, wasn't it? Remember?
Did you delete your Twitter?
I didn't, no. I stayed, and am I joking, by the way, obviously. It's a joke for, I get called a tosser again. Anyway,
He fucking laid a nerve there, have I?
Not at all. I just thought it was funny. Like, you know. Anyway, we move on from it. Look, this is what we do. Yeah. Look, I know what Dom was saying. He probably said it wrong, and it was picked up wrong, I think. But that's as close to an apology as you're going to get from him, really. So
no apology from me. I never apologize.
Even when you're wrong, we know all that, right?
I'm never wrong.
All right, we'll move it on. Derek Collin was announced as women's first team manager during the week. Decky, I know you've kind of broke the news first, I guess, as such. Do you want to take the lead on this one?
Yeah, look, I mean, last Thursday evening, officially announced by TOTAP Las Damas, about 5 days earlier, I think. Look, I said it on Las Damas last night, and it's just the hope and prayers of the fan base are that this is an indication that Liam Kearney is in control of the footballing side of the club. The announcement came with quotes from Derek, obviously, and quotes for Liam Kearney. No quotes from anybody else. I made that point last night. Jess Farry pushed back against me and felt that I was maybe reading too much into that it could be just a case of there was nobody available or they wanted to get something out, but I genuinely think there is some significance in the fact it was only Collin and Kearney quoted in the introduction. As I said, we're just hoping that it's an indication that this is Liam Kearney's club to run now from a footballing point of view, and that the ownership group are just there to pay the bills and sign the checks, and that would be a good starting point, I think, for most Cork City fans. Time will tell. Derek has to be backed. He has to be backed. The girls drew 1-1 away in DLR on Saturday. That was the first point of the season, so it's a good start for Derek. They go to Sligo next weekend. Another big game. Sligo have goals in that side. Sydney Stevens is a very, very good player, very good finisher. It's difficult when we can't score goals. We've only scored 2 all season. One from a direct free kick, and we got one from a corner on Saturday. So we haven't scored from open play. The fear is that Sligo have goals, they score 2, and we just can't get anything out of the game. But defensively, we're solid, and Derek has plenty to work on. So, look, nobody's expecting any miracles out of Derek in terms of league placements or trophies or any of that. It's for me, it's more significant that he's there at all, because he obviously departed not that long ago. He's back to work under Liam. Just wish him all the luck in the world.
Wayne.
Yes.
The video released, well, it wasn't on X, but on IG and Facebook of Derek talking to Howie. I saw you liked it anyway, or reposted it even. What did you make of it?
Did I?
The Cork City.
I don't actually remember seeing it.
Don, did you see it?
No, I actually didn't see it. What is it?
This is actually proving a point, lads. Did I definitely like it?
I fear sure you did like it, but anyway. I was just going to say what people seem to pick up on and like about it.
Oh, I did see it. Sorry. Yes, I did see it. And I thought it was very kind of, you'd run through a brick wall for the fella, wouldn't you? I remember it, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was good. I did, because I was like, Jesus, this guy's this kind of guy you want to go for a pint with, and you want to get a fight after with some group of lads, like, and just see people behind you. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't get in a fight with Derek. They'd be too afraid to take you on. Like,
he'd be behind you, and they wouldn't go near you. Like, he'd be like, hold me back, like, the lads wouldn't go near you.
You can only imagine that if you were to get in a fight, and Derek Collin was involved, that he'd have a good headbutt on him.
Well, hey. Decky, on the women's side, is it an appointment that's, I suppose, sparking new life into the club? Do you think? Have you heard anything from within?
I listen. Genuinely, we wouldn't hear much from within. You'd hear bits and pieces from around, but not from within. To be fair, there's been changes to the backroom staff made, which I think are significant. So Derek's come in and he's already put his stamp on things. Listen, as John O'Sullivan said in Last Damas, it doesn't matter if it's Pep or any of the great managers of the past, unless whoever takes that job is backed and allowed to bring players in and do what needs to be done, then everybody is just absolutely wasting their time.
Dick, is there many clubs in Ireland paying their players now properly? Like, as in, not properly, but they're getting these. Like, would half the squads be paid? And they'd be on part-time contracts, yeah.
All 12 clubs in the league. There's at least 11 of them. No, Cork City are. Listen, I don't want to go into things like Cork City are.
I don't name
at
them.
least
I'm
one
just
player.
how
at
many,
least one player on a contract anyway.
And is that a part-time contract with like proper terms that it's legally binding that they can't just walk away? Like,
no, I wouldn't think so. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. The one player probably would be, but everybody else is just registered. But like, see, I could do hours on this now about how everybody thinks that the league is progressing towards professionalism, but actually it's built on a whole pile of sand, and in my opinion, it could crumble very quickly at any given stage. I think attendances are falling. There's an awful lot wrong with the Women's League of Ireland, and nobody wants to have, in my opinion, those honest conversations. But that's the last damnest topic, and that's, so we won't do it here. But look, yes, clubs are playing players. Yes, clubs are bringing players in on professional contracts. They're bringing them from outside the country. Sligo Rovers have done it this year. They've brought in a number of Americans. One of them has gone home homesick. But Sydney Stevens, that I mentioned already, has been a terrific find. Very good player, very good goal scorer. So, we've kind of done it with Fiona Doherty, but, again, we're not looking after players the way other clubs are looking after players, and until such time as we do, and that includes accommodation. You can't fucking do anything in any walk of life without accommodation. And there's no way this club is going to pay for accommodation for women players. So, there's all those obstacles to overcome. And that's why I say, just wish Derek the very best, because he's going to need every bit of luck he can get.
All right, we'll move it on. City won the Munster Senior Cup during the week with the under-20 side. But I suppose the hot topic, and it is going, funnily enough, viral on X, was the Owen Murphy incident, the Rockmount player, when he hit a City player and then spat on her keeper.
Allegedly.
Dom, do you want to go first on this?
On those two incidents? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any videos of the spitting incident, but like apparently there are videos there, and you could see when like he went up to AJ Nash, and when like Nash came over pointing to his neck at the ref, so he was obviously bringing something to his attention. The punching incident I didn't see during the match, but I saw the clip of it afterwards. Like, I don't want to talk too much about an amateur footballer who's playing Munster Senior League, but there's no condoning either of those things, really, especially the spitting thing. Like, that's just pathetic, really.
Is the spitting one, the alleged spitting one, worse than the hit win?
Yeah, 100%. 100% it is, yeah.
Why?
It's one of the worst things you can do, isn't it, really? I think. Bodily fluids. It's just not right. Not my thing.
Okay. Lastly, Decky, should Owen receive punishment in kind from it, or do you leave it off?
It's Munster Senior League's decision. He's been sent off, so there's 2 yellow cards. There's going to be a 1 game suspension at least. After that, I don't know what the Munster Senior League's disciplinary processes are, etc. Do they accept video evidence? Do they not accept video evidence? I genuinely don't know. Like Dominic's already touched on it. And people would probably come back to me afterwards going, why wouldn't you, etc., etc. Owen Murphy's an amateur footballer playing Munster Senior League. I know he has a bit of a reputation. I don't watch Munster Senior League. I have no idea whether that reputation is warranted or not. On the 2 incidents we saw the other night, yes, of course, there's no defending either incident. Punishment should come. It's the Munster Senior League's job to decide what that punishment will be. if there will be any. And after that, kind of it is what it is. Like, I'm a great believer, like, kind of contrary, because I do have my list, and I'm, never forgiven the guys on the list, but, like...
What list?
You want to know, like, the
You check it
Rob
twice.
Harvey. Rob Harvey and
Oh, your hit list.
man,
Okay.
yeah, and the lads. But I'm kind of fundamentally a great believer in leaving things on the pitch, but then you have a spit in it, like the slap and the punch. I just leave on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you get a 2-game suspension, 3-game suspension, that's it. Whatever, it's done and dusted. It's not the end of the world to me. The spitting thing, like, you can't spit at people. It's not good. It doesn't paint a pretty picture. It's a terrible, terrible thing to do to anybody. But the football authorities have to decide what action, if any, they're going to take. And Owen Murphy's going to have to suck it up when that punishment is handed out. And after that, as Dominic said, I'm not going chasing an amateur footballer on this podcast. I'm just not going to do it. So, and people will probably say, oh, it's, X, Y, and Z. Don't care. I'll go after professional players. It's their full-time job. One Murphy has to get up and go to work in the morning. Face his teammates, face the people he works with. It's all over the place. Like, the video is all over the place. Like, there's no getting away from it. So, I'm not going to pile onto Owen Murphy here and add to it. There's no need. As I said, there's no requirement for us to do that, in my honest opinion.
Right, Dom, I'll go to you here. Matthew Murray got himself a brace in the night and man of the match. Do you think now this could be the start? Does Robson look at him a bit more seriously going forward?
Well, he brought him on at half time then on Saturday, so that's a good, like, maybe he showed him something, because he mightn't have wanted to start him the following, or that week, because the fact he had just played 90 minutes on the Tuesday, but it'd be interesting to see going forward. The fact he came on at half time instead of for the last 10-15 minutes like he normally does is definitely a promising sign. And hopefully Robson saw enough, because everyone else did. I mean, everyone would agree that he was one of probably 3 standout players on the pitch that day. He gave a very good account for himself.
Wayne, do you hope Murray's nearly solidified himself in the City team?
I think he deserves everyone now. Like, I think we're doing well enough now. Like, considering those 2 games, I know. Like, we're still getting promoted. I'd be playing him more, 100%. Yeah. Different dynamic, a different style as well. So,
all right. I'm going to stick with you here. Conor Bran was called up to the Irish men's national team squad. They're facing against Qatar, the Aviva Stadium in Canada. What are your thoughts on that one? Were you surprised? I feel like I certainly was anyway.
I went through and dropped, remember?
You'd have Olomusu in goal anyway.
Egg on my face, lads.
That, in fairness, the FAI with that were able to get one over on TOTAP in a way that Cork City could only ever dream of doing.
Fair play to him though, like Uma as well, back called up again. Fair play to him.
Well, like, it's easy now for us to be miserable bollocks in here and having a go, like, but
I think it's brilliant, because do you know what? Like, we need more of this kind of stuff. And it also does give Olomusu a chance as well, I think. Well, you mightn't even start.
Imagine going away on national team duty, you come home and you've lost your spot in the team.
I know. Mad, isn't it? Fair play to the lad. Like, Jesus, it's a great experience to have. And hopefully he gets on the bench anyway for one of the games. You'd imagine McGinty be on the bench for one, hopefully, and Bran the other. I think it was you, Dominic, said that, and I kind of went, probably just a training keeper. But you never know.
And Decky TOTAP put aside their journalistic integrity once more and broke the news to the wider public.
Yeah, the news was embargoed, but, since we've been removed from all FAI email lists and all those kind of things, I don't feel like embargoes apply to us anymore. So, yeah, word reached TOTAP Towers, and we're happy to let it rip. Can I just say on the record that there's no player playing the League of Ireland currently who's good enough to play international football for Ireland.
Stephen Bradley be disappointed in you.
I don't give a fuck what
Not for the first time.
thinks. That's just my take on it. Like, and it's great for the lads that they've been called up. Brilliant for Conor Brand. Congratulations to him.
But Declan, do you remember when people complained that McLean wasn't called up when he was at Wrexham? Not complaining, but they were saying there's a chance he get called up, and like he's useless in this league.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a couple that. Yeah.
Listen, these games have been a success. Jack Moylan got a hat-trick the other day against Granada. Right? Yeah. That's a success. Tom Cannon got 2. That's a success. You know? It's mad that when we were playing First Division in 2023, wasn't it? Was it 22? 23? That Jack Moylan and Jack Doherty were up top for Wexford. You know? And how their careers have differentiated since. But fair play to Jack Moylan. He scored the winning goal, or the goal that got Lincoln promoted to the Championship. Got himself picked for Ireland, and he scored a hat-trick. I know it's against Granada, but, you know.
Very likeable man, too, on the interviews.
Yeah, you could only play what's put in front of you, like, you know. So, a lad who had bought tickets for the playoff game against Denmark, you know, in the Aviva, if we had got that far. So, you know, absolutely delighted for him. As I said, I just feel like there's nobody in the League of Ireland who's good enough. Like Dawson Devoy's not good enough to play international football for Ireland. And people are saying it, they're fucking codding themselves. You know? In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Absolutely fucking codding themselves. But listen, his club have talked him up. You know, Heimer's listened. He's going to take a look at him. There's nothing wrong with all of that. Now, Bows are going to be roaring and shouting to get 2 league games cancelled. Roaring and shouting for 2-3 international windows that Devoy has to be in the squad, Now, he's in the squad. They're probably going to look for 2 games to be cancelled. League games. Do you know? I presume we're not going to look for the Finn Harps game to be cancelled. You probably can't get it cancelled anyway, but definitely the Premier Division games could go. Shamrock Rovers have 2, McGinty and Brennan. They also have Europe. Huh?
Don't you need 3?
No, it's different. Like, there's no way they're telling Shamrock Rovers, if they don't want it, that you have to play a league game without your goalkeeper and without your starting outside right or whatever he is these days. Like, they're never going to do that. Like, they're also, I don't think, going to make Bows play without Devoy. But there's a whole thing about fixture congestion going to come now because Shams are in Europe. So those games have to be fitted in. And if they cancel 2 Shams games for these internationals, then they have to be fitted in. And if Bows cancel games, they have to be fitted in. Do you know? For me, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You want your players in the international squad? Brilliant. Suck it up and play the league games while they're away. But we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll drive it on to a bit of football. Cork City 2, Longford Town 0. Dominic, considering they had a lad sent off in the first 15-20 minutes, City made hard work of that.
Yeah, do you know, the first half needs to be kind of... Like, the game can be broken into 2, obviously. The first half and the second half are 2 very different games. Second half wasn't great. First half was absolutely atrocious, and that sending off the red card actually only made things worse. It was like it killed the game for both teams. I don't know what it is. We can't deal with teams that sit in deep, and when teams get a player sent off, they usually tend to sit deeper, and we just couldn't. It killed it for us, really. But like, that first half was some of the worst football we've seen all season. Now in the second half, we started the second half quite well up until about the 70th minute. It was we gave a good enough showing, and there was some good chances and everything. But then after that, kind of died off again. So overall, I mean, it wasn't a good game at all. But like, I was trying to think of how to come on here and effectively describe that first half, and I was thinking, will I read out some HR policies or what will I do? But the notes that I took, because as you know, I take a lot of notes, very detailed notes when watching matches back, and the notes I took for this match are just awful. Like, I've got here that we're playing vertical passes back and forth and they're going nowhere. They have to go horizontal. Greg passes it right to Nevin. Not enough power on it, so it goes to Feely, who then passes it to Nevin. This is not a big moment, but it highlights the time we waste on our horizontal passes. There was just the most entertaining thing about that first half. Probably picking up the Longford fans on the commentary and all the stuff they were shouting at the City players, which is great. You love to see a bit of crack and a bit of banter. It's just a shame that only two of them care enough about their team to come down to Cork when they're playing down here.
Well, they went through one of their own players at the end of it anyway. Wayne, what did you think of it?
I texted you on halfway through the match. Well, the first half. How bad it was and how hard it is to watch it. I nearly switched it off. I nearly did. I nearly went. Couldn't be arsed with this now, like. Because the Eurovision was on, remember, same time. But we struggled through it and we won the game. But like, it's so hard to watch these games anymore. It really is. It's a struggle, and I find it hard to motivate myself to watch it. Dom, it was terrible. Like, there's not no other words you can say. Like Dom's trying to say, "Oh, the second half was better." It was shit. Like, the whole thing was shit. To be honest with you, like, Dom, we're better. We're better than this.
Did you go up?
No, I was going to go, but last minute something came up. I wasn't able to go in the end.
I'd say you were pretty lucky. Whatever came up.
I was devastated. You know, I would have loved nothing more to be at that thrilling game.
This is exciting. Imagine this episode, lads. That's how exciting it was.
Imagine that drive home afterwards. Imagine coming home. You're not home till about 2:00 after watching that. It's dangerous. It's actually a hazard because you're asleep leaving the pitch. You're definitely at risk of falling asleep in the car.
Be a danger to society on the road home. Lastly, we're coming to Decky. Decky, what did you think of the game?
Look how excited he looks.
Well, are City rocking up to these games with just
like us,
this mad,
miserable,
exactly, like rocking up to this podcast, like rocking up just with this meh attitude that will turn these lads over at some stage, and it's worked for most of the season until it doesn't.
And it didn't work in the cross against Cove, and it didn't work in Tralee against Kerry in the space of 3 days. Look, I don't know what way they're rocking up. Dom, like, that first half was just... And I tweeted about it at half time. I said it was probably the worst half of football I've seen from a Cork City side ever. And, like, they went down to 10 men on 16 minutes. They had, like, it's a red card all day long. To be fair, even the commentary team don't really argue that it's not a red card. And you just think, okay, we're going to get a grip of this game. We're going to move the ball quickly. We're going to work them and we're going to tire them out and we're going to pick pockets and we're going to find space and we're going to create chances and we're going to score goals. And we leave the pitch at half-time with 2 attempts on goal in the first half, the second of which was from a corner in the 46th minute. So we went a half an hour against 10 men with 1 attempt on goal. And that was from young Killian Murphy cutting in, and he took a shot with his left foot and it went, whatever. Like, it went wide. I'm not having a go at Killian Murphy in any way, but I'm just saying it wasn't going anywhere near the goal. That's all we created. All we created. Shawnee's getting deeper and deeper and deeper, trying to involve himself in the play. And the problem is, when he picks it up and he comes that deep and he's standing on the halfway line and he picks it up, no, there's nobody running beyond him. There's nobody, I don't know what we do. I don't know. It's just like, let's just go out and bore the opposition to sleep. And we'll score because we're just that little bit better than them, and that will tell over 90 minutes. And I mean, second half, like, Dominic's right, it was better. But, like, we scored from a set play, and then they have a corner, and whatever it is, the 95th minute, and the keeper goes up, and we break on them. And to be fair to Dara, he's still motoring full pelt in the 96th minute, or whatever it is, and he knocks it into an empty net, and the referee blows the full-time whistle. We did fuck all. Again. We really have, like, I don't know, and like there's this idea out there amongst the rest of the league that Cork City are this fickle fan base, and we lost 2 games, so we started giving out about the owner, and we started giving out about the manager, and we started giving out about the players. Well, one of those lads who was on commentary the other night's also on the national podcast, and I hope he now realises, having watched what he watched for 90 minutes, why Cork City fans are losing their shit this season over what we're being forced to watch week in, week out. Because it's just fucking boring. That's what it is. It's just boring. It's just lump it long and see what happens, and Dara's the legs in midfield. And like, it changed a bit, I thought, when he brought AJ Bridge on. At least AJ was a bit of go forward ball, a bit of trying to pick a forward pass, a bit of intensity, a bit of drive, a bit of
Had a good pop or goal.
yeah, let's have a go here, like, you know. But as I said, it's just fundamentally boring. You'll always have the odd game, but like, we've played, and my Excel is after, I don't know, my Excel crashed now, so I can't open spreadsheets. But I think that was our 7th away game. The first game in Wexford, we won 4-1. That's the only away game we've had this season where the match has gone over 2.5 goals. So 7 away games, 1 away game where there's been 3 goals in the game. There was 5 that night. Like, we're supposed to be this swashbuckling, top of the table team, better than everybody else. And we just go away from home and win 1-0.
Are we getting worse? And what does then that say about Robson?
I'm not sure we're getting worse. We're just not getting any better. And I think it's philosophy. I think it's like, I know we won the game 2-0, but to me, in my head, it's always a 1-0 game. Like, I know Dara Crowley scores, but the way that goal worked out, and like, factually, it's a 2-0 game. I get that. But we're just, as I said, I know I've used the word boring a few times now. There's just no inventiveness in our play. Like, I think I saw a question come in about Shawnee and his performances, and he hasn't scored in ages, and the rest of it. But Shawnee is getting deeper and deeper, and people spoke a lot about Keats when Keats was the one up there about being cut offside a lot. Shawnee knows in the exact same boat, and I said I can't open fucking Excel, so I don't have the numbers in front of me. But Shawnee's offside an awful lot now. And that to me says when Keats was the one up there, he was offside an awful lot. Shawnee's offside an awful lot. So when he's not deep, he's trying to run in behind. And the runs aren't being spotted quick enough, and the ball hasn't been played soon enough. And when it is played a second too late or 2 seconds too late, the flag is up because Shawnee's fucking 2 yards offside. And it's happening continually. And like, I don't understand why we just don't go and try and put teams to the sword. And here's the thing. If we lose, we lose. The unbeaten season is gone. All that's gone. Like, we're back now to we're going to be promoted. And we are. So listen, just fucking take the shackles off. Leave them have a go. We saw what happened against UCD when Harry Nevin was the overlapping full-back, got to the end line. We score a great goal. How many times did Harry Nevin overlap in Longford? I'm sure he did it all. And I know it's game management, and I get all that. We're 1-0 up with 15 minutes to go in Longford against 10 men. And we're just passing it around the back. Dominic spoke already about horizontal passing. Charlie Lyons is knocking at the Feely. Feely's knocking it back to Lyons. And we're killing the clock. Now, I understand it's game management. I understand that. But it's not like you're 1-0 up away in Tala and you're trying to manage the game and get out of there with the win, like. It's fucking 10-man Longford. Just go and get the second. And when you get a second, go and get the third. And listen, as I'll say it again, I understand game management. I understand all that. But there's a responsibility on the people at the club to entertain and to facilitate a fan base who's just crying out for something to cling to. And the something to cling to isn't 1-0 away in Longford against 10 men with 10 minutes to go, passing it around the back to see out the clock. That's not Cork City. That's not the standard. Like, the standard of this football club for me is top 4 in the Premier Division. That's the standard. That's the bottom line in terms of standards. Top 4 in the Premier Division. Not being in Flanker Park at fucking whatever, 8:30 on a Saturday night or 8:45 on a Saturday night, passing it around the back, seeing up the clock with 10 minutes to go against 10 men. That's not the standards. And people give out about me, he's giving out about this and he's giving out about that. Fine, I'm not willing to drop my standards. Maybe others are willing to drop their standards and say, you got to manage the game in Longford and you got to win. I understand all that. But this football club's standards are far beyond from what we're seeing this season. And I understand people want to defend it, and I understand that. And I said earlier, we'll just try and enjoy the season. But I thought they were going to give us something, performances, swashbuckling, fucking go-get-'em type football. We're getting shit. It's just terrible to watch. There's no getting away from it.
Wayne, what does this say about Barry? Like, surely it's becoming more and more evident. He's going to come in, he's going to get us promoted, and sayonara Cork City.
I get it, but it's not his players. I keep saying it. Wait till July. If we get no one in, then hang him out. But like, if this might not be his style of player, I don't know. It is putrid football. It's worse than Tim Clancy. It's worse than Jernash. It's horrendous. But again, I have to give him time to get his own players in, do his own system. I don't think he's going to be here next season anyway, so it doesn't matter shit.
Is he gone, do you think, anyway?
I think on his own free will, he will be gone.
Would you want him here anyway?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Like, what are we going to do? Get someone else in and start again, do the same. We need a manager who's going to stay next season. And when we're third bottom after 8 games and everyone's giving him shit, he sticks around. That's what we need. Imagine changing this shit again, and it gives the club another excuse. Manager came in December, didn't have enough time to get players in. Rubbish. Just stick him there and see what happens.
If you want a spare testicle, I'm willing to give you my right or left one, or both of them if you want, to be third from bottom in the Premier Division after 8 games next season.
Now this is why we're going down again. This kind of mentality.
I'll give you the whole
this is why we're going down again. We've had this conversation at least 3 times in 3 different years. This is the reason we're going down again.
Yeah, but it's not the reason we're going. You're going to come with this bullshit of we should be in Europe and what. You have to build towards it. I just said the standard is top 4 in the Premier Division, but you have to build towards it. And there has to be a sign that we're building towards it. All we're building towards at the moment.
You aim for it.
The only sign of what we're building towards at the moment, in my opinion, is promotion. And there's nothing beyond that. There's no sign of a fucking plan beyond that.
We wait till, as I said, July. Let him bring his player. If he brings nobody in July, I'm going to be out there myself. Tell him to get the fuck out. All right. You have to give him a chance to bring his own player. He's got 1 player in. You have to give him a chance. If there's no one in by August, I'll be livid. Trust me.
We're not signing Premier Division players in the summer. I'm telling you, we're not doing it.
His players. Doesn't matter. His players. He needs to bring his players
does that matter? Or will Carney
what's Carney's job? Yeah.
Well, you assume, no, we're not doing a whole Real Madrid-Chelsea thing where the manager actually gets a choice and he's telling Carney, I need these players, go get them. It's Carney's job.
No, because Carney's director of football. It has to be his philosophy that if a manager changes, the philosophy stays the same, and that's what a director of football does.
There's a philosophy, and there's also a way of playing. Philosophy now isn't 4-4-2, get the ball in the box, or 5-4-1 win back. That's not philosophy. Like, a philosophy is, are you a defensive team, attacking team? How you build your squad. No, you can't have Carney picking these players. Can't have that.
Has to be Carney, because Barry isn't going to be here for the long haul.
Well, that's the point. Barry Robson is not Leroy Rossinier, like. He's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is madness. This is going to go on for another 4 hours now if we keep talking about this. This is madness. Carney cannot be picking these players.
What's the point of a director of football?
Hang on. Say Carney brings in a fella from Portadown, right? Random. Defensive midfielder. Shitty attitude. And Robson doesn't deal with shitty attitudes. Or he likes to gargle. Robson has this mentality of you can't be boozing whatever, or smoking, whatever it is. It has to be Robson's men. Yes, Kearney can have a choice in it, or he can say, look, this doesn't suit our style of club. It has to be Robson's picks. Have to be Robson's picks. Otherwise, we're fucking going down again next season.
And what happens then if Robson leaves in the off-season like you predict and they find another manager and none of those picks work
then
for that
Cardi can pick his manager. He can pick his manager on what kind of style of manager he wants. He's now stuck with what Usher picked. You have to stick with it.
But the whole point of a director of football is that when managers change, squads don't have to change because the director of footballer's philosophy flows through the managers.
Agreed. But the director of football came in after the manager, so suck it up now, like. This is on Usher. He should have picked Kearney before Robson. When Nash walked out that door, or drove out, whatever it was, he should have Kearney in place. End of story. Then none of this shit would happen. So you now have to give Robson his chance to pick his players and suck it up because you didn't get Kearney in time. That's what bottom line is. And if Robson goes, it's on Usher. It's not on Kearney because he's in a hard position now. They just have to work together and go, do you know what? I don't agree with your side of football. I don't agree with your players, but we have to work together now. That's the situation. I agree with you, but it's too late now to start fixing stuff that can't be changed. Back in manager, end of.
Dom, you're going to set one of them off either way, so like you may as well just go for it.
I was just enjoying the debate. I'll set them both off. I think you're both right in a way. I don't think it should be one. I don't think it should be one of them choosing the players. Like they should be working together, essentially, like almost like a transfer committee of some sort, to choose the players that they're signing. But while I was enjoying the debate about players, I just want to go back to something Decky said a while ago about game management and just in the Saturday's game in particular. You'd hear that right. Is it wise to just go and try and blow each team out of the water? Which is my opinion is exactly what we should be doing. We should be trying to win each game by 5 or 6 goals. But then the devil's advocate to that is some coaches might say, would you not prepare for next season by picking a style and picking a team that will survive against better teams, professional teams? But the thing is, if that's what this is, then we haven't a fucking hope next season, because it's not like we're setting up this smart system that's going to help us survive in the Premier Division. If we play the type of football that we're playing now, we're fucked next season. It's not smart football. It's not.
But is that Barry Robson ball?
But well, I don't know because I don't follow Scottish football. But that's what we were warned of by other fans of his previous teams. Like. There's not. It's not really even game management. It's just shit.
Like there's no real following on from that. Like I think you probably hit the nail on your head, or hit the nail with your head there, Dom. Kearney or Robson, like who needs to take charge on the transfer front?
Me.
Yeah.
As I said, I think the two need to be working together. I think you're both right in the sense that you can't have a manager who doesn't get to pick his own players, but at the same time there's no point in having a director of football if he's going to let the manager pick the players who could then walk out and then have a new manager who ends up in the same scenario where he didn't pick his own players and then nobody picked the players. So I think the two need to work together. They need to come up with some kind of criteria essentially and of what kind of players they want that suit both of them and go from there. That's my opinion anyway.
Okay, looking at the next few games, Decky, if you're relying on Crowley and Droynan to get your goals, are we really going to struggle over the next series, 5, 6, 7 games if Sean isn't the one putting them in the net? I know Hans is off the back of a hat-trick, obviously.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not like goals have completely dried up or anything, and we did score 2 the other night. Like, that can't be forgotten either. And like, I don't want to paint a doomsday scenario because obviously we won the game. We won it comfortable enough. They had one chance where your man cuts inside and he probably takes a touch too much. At that stage when he cut inside and he beat Harry Neville, I thought, fuck, it's going to go 1-1 here. And I know it was a feel he got across and made it a little awkward for him. Then he took a pass and another pass and, you know, they just fucked it up. But like, we go to Athlone and we go to Treaty this night next week. So we have the 2 games next weekend again. Both away. Then we have Finn Harps at home on the Friday night. Presume Conor Brand misses that game. Then we have a week off. We're away to Wexford and we're home to Treaty. Home to Bray before the... Oh no, when is the break? The break's another bit away, yeah. So, there's no run. Sorry, can somebody take over for a second? Because I got to choke. Sorry.
Jesus, it's an awful shame Dickie died on the podcast anyway, lads, isn't it? But at least we get a fair bit of publicity out of it now.
Well, Wayne did say recently if he dies on the podcast to release it anyway, so I'm sure Decky agrees with that one.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there, but I don't even remember what I was saying. No, Dan. But look, there's no running games in this division that should bother us or scare us or think we're not going to score goals in these games. You know, as I said, we go to Athlone. We'll probably talk about those two games in a minute. I'm not worried about us not scoring goals. I think Shawnee's had a little dip in form. As I said, I put that down to him coming deep and people not being on the same wavelength as him. He'll knock one in again. You still have hands. You have Keats to come off the bench. Listen, Keats desperately needs a goal for himself more so than anything else. He missed a great chance in Longford. But again, I would say, listen, keep putting yourself in the positions and eventually one goes in. One goes in, everything changes, and off you go. I'm not worried about us not scoring goals. As I said, we'll talk about the Longford game in a minute, so I won't say much more. But sorry about the Athlone game. But look, no, it's a long-winded way of saying no. I don't have a huge concern.
Dom, you want to come in on the Shawnee one?
So, Dickie's right. The reason he's not scoring goals as much is that he's sitting in a lot deeper. But it does also need to be pointed out that by the time he takes the pitch on Friday against Athlone, it'll be 1 month and 17 days since he last scored a goal. Like, he hasn't scored since Kerry at home, which is not great when we were relying on him so much earlier on in the season. And again, if that was... not that he's Keating, but Keating gets a lot of pressure and Pongo gets a lot of pressure. I love Shawnee, but he's not immune to it either. On that as well, when we're talking about dates and stuff, that Longford game was the first time since our first away game, our first clean sheet since the 0-0 draw away to Harps on the 3rd of April. It was our first clean sheet that we got a win in since the 1-0 win away to UCD on the 20th of March. It was our first victory away from home since that UCD game as well. So we haven't... that's kind of worrying, I would say.
Wayne, you don't strike me as a man who looks too worried anyway. Are you worried about what we're going to lose?
It'd be grand. If we can't get promoted this year, sure, there's always next year, lads. Don't worry about it.
All right, I think we leave it there. We go to leave the Longford game, lads. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
I thought Paraship for Longford was very good, and I thought Gary O'Reilly summed it up at one point where he said Cork have been how have Cork been so wasteful? Obviously it's City, not Cork, but yeah, we were very wasteful as well. I think the amount of times we ran it out of play or just made balls of passes, particularly passes, shots, stuff like that, I thought we were very wasteful.
Lads, you need a serious amount of patience and what's the word? To be put up with this shit every week, and we are. I wouldn't worry too much, honestly. When we get promoted, it'll be fine. And then we can aim for second last there like Decky wants to do again for the 4th time in a row.
Yeah. I agree with Decky. Wayne, time and time, there's no point in aiming. We're not getting fucking Europe,
It doesn't matter, you aim for it. Last time we aimed for 9th, what happened? What happened again, lads? What happened?
We didn't aim for 9th. You came on here and shouted and roared about we'll be 4th, we'll be 5th, we'll get Europe. I kept telling you, if we didn't get our shit in gear, we'd be fucking relegated. And you all fucking shut your eyes and played Kumbaya, my lord, and told us we were all going to be fucking great. It was going to be great. It was going to be great. You would not listen to the people fucking telling you what was going to happen. And you're fucking walking fucking straight into it again. Which are all we aim for Europe. Stay in the fucking division and build from there. Stay in the division and build from there, for fuck's sake. It's basic fucking build a club. Basic shit, like.
Let's go for 9. Playoff be easy, lads. Don't worry.
All right, we'll go for half time. Right, that concludes the first half. TOTAP will come back to us where we'll have the mailbag and hopefully we'll have the two lads going at it again.
Hey there, Toe Tapper. This podcast is sponsored by NordVPN, and we have a deal of a lifetime. So listen up. Are you still surfing the web with all your personal info hanging out? That's like going to Fountainstown with your Mickey dangling for all to see. But fear not, my digitally exposed friend. NordVPN is here to hide your pecker. With NordVPN, you can cloak your online presence faster than the club counts gate receipts. Say goodbye to those pesky ad trackers and hello to streaming shows from all over the globe. Want to watch a dodgy stream without it buffering? NordVPN might just make it happen. And hackers trying to steal your data? They'll have better luck finding Kimberly Mikado in the tea room. NordVPN's got more layers of security than the VIP section on match day. So what are you waiting for? Get NordVPN today and surf the web with style, security, and a sprinkle of quirkiness. Go to nordvpn.com/TOTAP for our exclusive deal. It's practically free. You miserable.
And welcome back to part 2 TOTAP. We were just about able to separate the lads. Me and Dom came out with a few scares, but it is now time for your mailbag. Kevin Cronin asked about Chalky. Look, I think we'll leave that one off, Kevin. We probably got there. Richie, question for the original relegation chief. If he isn't the original relegation chief because there was a relegation before, does that mean you're not the original rebel chief either? In which case, what does the ARC really stand for? But we do have a comeback from the account. Dear Richie, thanks as always for your inquiries. The ORC is absent tonight, but the O is interchangeable between original and only. Richie says, touche. Anthony Falvey, who was wrong about Conor Brann, TOTAP or Heimer Hallgrimsson?
Neither have to be wrong. You can be in the Irish squad and still deserve to be dropped for Longford away. I mean, it's not one or the other. So,
just to go back on that, I know, like we said, delighted for him and everything, but nobody could have seen that coming. Like, I don't even think he's the best goalkeeper in the division. But delighted for him. Fair play, Conor.
Peter Sullivan, question for Dom. Given the recent unfair dismissal of West Cork football, how did Beara get on in the promotion race? And also, is there proper scouting done from a Cork City point of view? We've seen West Cork players become part of the spine of Munster Rugby, for example. Is there untapped talent that could be brought into the academy, if not already? Up the town, up Beara, up West Cork, up Brighton. It's fucking mad. You don't want to be included in Cork borders at all. You try make your own little enclave there.
Yeah, they do. It is its own world, isn't it, West Cork? It really is. Bury United lost 6-0 to Bunratty. The goalkeeper dislocated his shoulder, just popped back in, played on proper football. But then they just kept taking shots. That's who Heimer should be taking. Yeah, they just kept taking shots and knowing that the keeper was fucked. Is there any scouting? No, I'm not involved anymore, so there's no need to be scouting. But not in West Cork. No, I don't. Maybe there might be a player in there, but I do think it raises an interesting question of whether we should go back to looking at the Munster Senior League. I know that's something that creates a lot of debate. Or not debate, maybe just...
Wayne, what do you think? Wayne, what do you think?
He knows. Declan knows. I wanted to do this last season before last. So he knows he's trying to. He's trying to bait me here. I ain't going to bite this time. No. But he's wrong.
There isn't players in the Munster Senior League who are good enough to play League One.
No. I'm not saying there's players. I'm saying you should have a look.
Yeah, that's there's no if you know there's not players there. That's the point.
On trial, see what happens. That's all. Like,
honestly, I'd take Mark O'Sullivan over Charlie Lutz any day.
Yeah, Marcus, right, okay. Like Marcus Sullivan's 57 now or whatever, Fair play to Mark, brilliant player, legend. But you're not putting Marcus Sullivan, I know you don't literally mean Marcus Sullivan. That's once in 15 years we found a player in the Munster Senior League.
There was a winger there during Tommy Dunn's time. O'Connor, wasn't it? He wasn't too bad. What was his name?
Lads who are playing Munster Senior League have made a conscious decision to play Munster Senior League. You get the old debate. All the lads playing Munster Senior League believe they're as good as the lads playing League of Ireland. They just decided they don't want to play League of Ireland. When you speak to the honest Munster Senior League players who know the scoring, they will tell you, I'm not good enough to play League of Ireland. It's a level above what we're doing again. I like my points on a Friday night. I have kids at home. I don't get much sleep because the child is only 6 months and is awake all night. I can't commit to a professional lifestyle because I work 5 days a week, etc., etc. And the gap is only going to get bigger and bigger, and this is where the academies are important. You get kids early, you get them in the academies, you put them through the academy structure, and they come out the other side. It's rare you're going to find a guy in the Munster Senior League who has somehow escaped the Cork City, Kerry, Treaty, Waterford United academies and has found his way to the Munster Senior League and is still good enough to play League of Ireland football. That's not having a go at the Munster Senior League. It's a great standard, but look at the cup games when Munster Senior League clubs draw FAI or draw League of Ireland clubs, etc., even First Division clubs. There isn't an upset very often.
Dom, is it Drina or Drina again?
Drina.
All right.
Three things on what Decky just said there. First of all, when you say about the Munster Senior League and academies and stuff, what about taking players from Munster Senior League academy teams as such from even 18s, 19s? Would you be in favour or not?
No.
Okay. That might change when they introduce the third tier. Do you think that
Possibly.
could completely revolutionise the entire thing?
Possibly. I don't think it revolutionises anything. I think we don't need a third tier. I think we should be concentrating on getting the fucking second tier sorted. Look at the shit in the second tier. Genuinely, we're in there this year. Look at the shit around us. It's fucking awful. It's cack. And you want to put another level below that for what? Get the fucking levels of the First Division and the Premier Division up. Premier Division's cack as well. It was cack last year as well. We were just the cackiest of the fucking lot. This third division thing, I don't get it at all. I genuinely don't see it. But look, the powers that be know. They fucked the women's game with the Women's Development League.
We've two more to go.
I'm about to go on to point 3. But with that, the second or the First Division is shit, but there's no reason we can't have a good First Division and Second Division. It's any other league and it wouldn't be an issue, but we just do everything fucking arseways. Even the implementation of that third tier could have been great, but it's not.
There's still 5 teams short to start the fucking thing.
That's the FAI for you.
But they're going ahead with it anyway. So fuck it in the bin. Anyway.
Mallow Railway Station, employee of the month says, following on from last week's discussion, I for one would like regular updates on Drina footballing matters on the pod. Unlike non-entity areas, for example, Buin, Drina has a proud football tradition that deserves a spotlight shone on it. Dominic, I think you're taking up that mantle anyway.
Well, the season's over, so come back to me in September.
Where's the Turner's Cross Cat gone? Says, do we know how well the third kit is selling? Well, unless lads have serious insider info here, I'd say we just don't know. Roy O'Sullivan, what signings would you personally like to see in the next transfer window? Where do we need strengthening the most? In brackets, apart from everywhere. When will the Carney effect start to bear fruit at a first team level, since Barry Robson doesn't seem to fancy giving the young fellas a sniff? Wayne, we'll go to you on the last one there anyway. When's the Carney effect going to happen?
It could take 2 years, really. I isn't to see it. I'm sure he's on the ball already. I'm sure he's changing stuff, but that could take years. And then we could change ownerships then and apparently surplus requirements. Like, you just don't know. It takes time. We know that it takes time, but he's the right man for the job. But leave the players picks down to Robson. Liam, please, thanks.
Dom, what signings would you like to see in the next transfer window?
I don't know off the top of my head now. It's something that I think we will probably discuss a lot more coming up to the transfer window. And we'll have a bit more research done into it then.
All right, then where do we need strengthening the most?
Midfield.
I think midfield.
All right, Conor
And
Macbeth.
fullbacks.
Barring the Kerry game,
Keepers,
We've got an Irish international goalkeeper. What are you on about?
strikers, defenders, the whole lot.
We've got an Irish international striker too.
barring the Kerry game at the Cross, Shawnee's last goal came against Longford on March 13th. Is there a means to be concerned? Decky, we've already kind of touched on this one.
We covered it already, as we said. Yeah, there's a reason to be concerned, but it's because he's getting himself so deep, trying to involve himself in the play. So the management and the coaching staff, and like, I'm not going to have any go at people. No, I'm not. But what the fuck is David Myler doing out there on the training pitch? Like, I mean, like, Jesus Christ!
I'm not having a go, but what the?
I know I can't help myself, like, but fucking hell, like, do you know? He was there under Nash last year and producing shit, like, and here again, notice we're still producing shit, like. If you're there twice or the two different managers and you're producing shit both times, I'm going to call you out. I don't give a fuck. And yeah, but hopefully they improve the way they're training and how they're doing things, and that gets reflected on the pitch, and Shawnee gets to play higher up. But then when he's higher up, players have to play balls for him in his runs, because, as I said, he's getting flagged offside left, right and centre, which was also happening Keats, and people were blaming Keats. Now maybe it's time to look at, okay, maybe it's not the front guys and it's not their runs, it's the inability of the players behind them to see their runs and pick their runs quickly enough so that the ball is played when they're still onside.
Dara, I think we've kind of got to your question already. Similar question already asked. One player in the Premier Division that City have a realistic chance of signing. Also, let's go get Ben McCormack.
Okay, just on the Ben McCormack one. I asked somebody about Ben McCormack at the start of the season because he was released by Waterford. He went from Pats to Waterford, and what I was told was that technically, and this is obviously a reaction, I think he scored, was it 3 or 4 he got against Cove 2 weeks ago when Bray beat them 5-1. He definitely got 3 if he didn't get 4 that night. And I asked somebody who knew him and who had been in around him and whatnot, and what I said, because he was somebody I thought, yeah, we could get him from Waterford, and what was said to me was that skillfully, the man is off the planet. Like, he's a really, really good, technical, skillful footballer, but he doesn't have the legs, and he doesn't have the athleticism, and he doesn't have the engine to play Premier Division football at an effective level. So I have to take that as, you know.
Our last one here. Sean O'Sullivan. Sean's Toilet Review, Longford edition. This one's a bit of a doozy, alright? Big area, 3 decent sized troughs, 3 stalls with proper toilets, all of which had at least 2 minimum rolls of bog paper on each. That's the good news. Now for the bad. There were more spiders in the corners than Longford had fans in the stands. If you suffer from arachnophobia, then you are fucked. At full time, I went into all 3 stalls and all the toilets were absolutely soaking. No idea what happened. The whole room could do with a lick of paint. Holes in the wooden walls, no warm water, and no liquid soap in the holder. Rubbish in the troughs, including a load of fag butts. Disgusting. Overall, probably a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like that's a pretty good score considering. All going well, hold on. Next week will be a double review of Athlone Town, in brackets, which I'm excited to do, and Treaty's shithole excuse, which I'm not looking forward to. Hopefully I'll get Treaty done before you record next Monday.
Do you know what? Strokestone Road used to be a fantastic stadium when it was first. Was it 25 years ago it was built? Lovely ground. And they've managed to just fucking destroy it. I don't know how. But it was one of the nicest ones in League of Ireland at one stage. It is 25 years ago. I've been there about 4 times. I've been there about 15 years, I'd say. But
isn't that because there was some sort of a nightclub in the town that you used?
Blazers,
going to?
oh man, it was majestic. It was unbelievable. Huge. And then every time I went up, it got smaller and smaller until it closed. And I haven't gone back since. But like, no, the ground in general, it was so nice when it was first done. And it's just gone to pieces. I don't know what they've done. I don't know how you could do that, so make it so such a nice ground and destroy it.
Alright, thanks Mill to all our Patreons, Sean O'Sullivan for taking up the mantle and giving us content in particular. George Twitter questions now. Billy Dorney, do you think our current, and I mean current, not permanent, manager is way too soft on the team? Fairly lackluster. I couldn't give a fuck attitude versus 10 men last week. If Johnny C was the boss, he'd have hopped off them up there.
Yeah, but Johnny C's mentality when he works for a limited time, I think his time actually was up because I think people just saw through it. He's only here 3 months, like, give him a chance.
He's not going to say anything in public, Dan. People forget.
Absolutely.
Barry Robson played for Celtic. He played Champions League. He's managed Aberdeen. He's media trained within an inch of his life. He's not going to go into a press conference 15 minutes after a game and say, oh yeah, I spent 20 minutes tearing the whole off the players in the dressing room because they were shit. You know? Never. He's never going to utter a word publicly calling into question any of the players or anything. If he's doing it, it'll be done behind closed doors. And I think you have to respect that. Like there's times, as I said, especially after the Kerry game, where I wanted him to come out and just say that isn't good enough. I didn't want him to go after players. I just wanted him to tell the fan base that he understood that wasn't good enough. I don't think we'll ever see that because the media training doesn't really allow them to do that, you know?
Ian Crowley, do you think Kearney's club ideology will stretch to the men's side too? Or will BR expect to be in full control? It was kind of already what we were talking about earlier. Val Maguire, any update on the PA system in Turner's Cross? I don't know, does anyone have an update there for Val?
We'll try again next week for you, Val.
We'll have a look.
No.
Barry,
No update.
Barry, not an advisor. Gareth, not an advisor, Barry. I hope you discuss Spitgate during the Munster Cup final. We sure did. Ian Crowley, would she ever do a TOTAP jersey? Ian, considering I think we're still selling the Christmas merch on the TOTAP shop page, we'll have a very have a Murray Christmas. I think we'll probably leave it
Kerry
off.
actually looked into that. We actually looked into that. The old Soviet Union pigeon shit one, but no, I didn't do it.
Well, if there was no balls to the win T-shirt, we can forget about the old merch for the while anyway. Like that's like fucking Arc live T-shirts and no balls to the wind one. Like
the Arc wouldn't honour me with a T-shirt of my own. You know, it's just like it's too hard for him to do.
Cork City FC Social Supporters Club. The club's training cones are reportedly made from non-recyclable PVC instead of recyclable polyethylene. Producing PVC cones creates higher greenhouse gas emissions. Do you have a view on our cones contributing to melting ice caps and harming the polar bear's natural habitat?
Who said that?
No, absolutely not.
Cork City Social. This is the guy Decky likes burgers, or Decky loves burgers guy.
He disappeared for a while. He's back there again. He was annoying me the other night in my own thing as well. Not annoying me, but interacting. But it's an interesting.
Not annoying me, interacting me.
It's an interesting take on things. I mean,
it's not really. It's not interesting.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Wayne, was Dylan McGlade's father interacting with you, or was he taking the piss out of you? Or annoying you, sorry.
No, he never annoyed me. He's fully entitled to his opinion.
Alright, he just got another mention at the start of the pod this week, like you.
Oh, that was just a bit of in jest, Dan. A bit of a joke. Yeah. We're actually quite good friends, to be honest with you. It's a character I'm trying to play, Dan.
Alright. Speaking of characters, I hope there's a few in for this week. It is time for SB of the week. We've none. Dominic.
I've nothing. Like, as I said when it started, we weren't going to get stuff every week. Like, you're not going to get stuff every week. There was nothing struck me this week anyway, unless my friend...
Surely Shamrock Rovers kicked more women out or something, did they?
No, they didn't kick them. Well, technically they did, yeah. They booted the under-17s as well.
Kerry might have won in the group chat. Probably highly inappropriate.
There was one last week, actually, he put in. There was something...
Actually, he did say that this week's SB would be very good, so...
Let's just type into WhatsApp there and see what comes up. You can blame Kerry anyway.
Waiting with bated breath here now. We haven't played the jingle yet, no. Just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to play jingles and everything? Because I was just leaving it go, like.
No, we play.
You can't force something anyway. You can't force something either, like. Do you know?
Oh, the shovel ready. Riverstown.
Oh, I have one.
Play the song.
Okay, hang on. Okay, hang on.
It's time for the SBMBS of the week.
Dom, your excitement was just taken away by that prick there, like.
The first one that was nominated by our friend Declan Carey, the original relegation chief, was that the FAI's Centre of Excellence that was supposed to be for Cork City was handed over to Riverstown FC in Glanmire.
Shovel ready.
Okay. Shovels have been ready for a long time.
What's our next SB of the week?
And the next one is the MFA. So we spoke last week about the great idea that they were giving away a car for the Crossbar Challenge. Now, I want to be very careful not to use the word scam here because we'd get ourselves in a lot of trouble. It wasn't costing anyone money to enter. But what they had offered, which I don't know when this changed, but what was said on social media and everything was that the MFA were giving away a car for the Crossbar Challenge. What they didn't state, publicly anyway, was that you had 3 shots to hit the Crossbar Challenge and you had to hit the crossbar with all 3 of those shots. Which is, I would say, close enough to impossible. There's no League of Ireland player that can hit the crossbar 3 times out of 3. There was fellas who came
a few of our lads would, but they'd be aiming for the goal, like.
But is it not like taking a free throw in basketball? That once you're in the rhythm and you know the methodology you're going to use, that you just repeat it, ping, 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 you know? No? I don't know.
But you see, you'd have to, like, if they even gave them a practice shot beforehand, you could make that argument. But if you didn't hit it first time, then you're not, that's it. Like, you had to hit it with your first shot.
They should at least do it from the halfway line.
So you can't find the rhythm.
At least do a halfway line one and hit it once. I get that. But 3 times in a row. Even Ronaldinho did that and they said it was just fucking AI doing it.
But you know, and it's like in retrospectively looking back, like, is it not a bit much to expect to win a car just for hitting the crossbar once?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a competition thing. Nobody expected, but
there's a final. Like you qualify for the final, and then they have those lads, and that's the way you do it. Like, but do it 3 times at least. Just do it from the half a line. That's never going to happen either. Like,
but as Decky was saying, like it is a big prize for something easy enough to hit the crossbar challenge, which two of them did hit the crossbar. Neither of them got a car for it. But the thing is, we wouldn't be talking about it if they didn't say that they were giving away a car for the crossbar challenge. Now, I know they never said that you only have to press hit it
for
once.
The crossbar challenge. Yeah.
I do think that's impossible. You could find you could get everyone in the stadium. And I was going to say everyone in the stadium, but there was fuck all in the stadium that day. You get everyone in the stadium on a busy night to hit it with 3 shots, and including both teams, nobody's going to get that. And there was one fellow who came with boots and everything, fully expecting that he was going home in a car, and he did hit the crossbar, but he didn't get a car.
But did he know that beforehand or after, I wonder? Did they say, oh no, you haven't won, lads?
I wonder, I don't know when they would have said it. I don't know when they changed it.
Yeah,
but they did say, like, Rory O'Hagan was had the microphone and stuff, and he said it, you have to hit it 3 times, and then he gave the microphone to everyone and said, how many times you have to hit it, and they were 3 times. So they made it very clear at that point.
Shocking, lads.
But
the club are worse for enabling that shit, like.
Not to do with the club. This was the Munster. This was the Munster Senior Cup final.
Oh, sorry.
Some MFA gig run by the MFA, so it's nothing to do with the club there.
Now, what I kind of got from it, possibly, the MFA could have gone to their sponsors, Grandins, who it was in conjunction with, and said, would you give us a car to give away? And they said, yeah, just make it difficult. And, of course, nobody in the MFA has probably played football in a while or stuff, probably said, okay, the crossbar challenge, that'll be difficult. And they agreed on that, and then maybe somebody in Grandins, their son might have said, oh, sure, that's easy enough. And they're like, what? What are you on about? We're not giving away that, so they might have changed it later on. I don't know. We're
giving this way too much airtime.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Dan, it's like...
It's time for the SBMBS of the week.
That whole segment should have just been nominated for the fucking SB of the week, because, you know,
whole fucking episode.
Yeah, I kind of agree. But anyway, go on. See how it turns out.
So you're fun. Let's see there yourself, like.
It's Monday, like.
All right. We have 2 games to look forward to this week. Athlone and Treaty. Dom, how pumped are you to have a great weekend of Cork City action? We're considering how pumped you were over Crossbar Challenge.
Because I nearly forgot it, and but I also nearly forgot that we had 2 games. Can't wait. They're going to be 2 shit games too. I know they're all shit. But like, if it was Bray and Wexford, then it'd be one thing. But I don't know.
Right, Athlone Town. What are you expecting from Athlone?
Capturing imagination.
One to watch for Athlone for me would be Grady and Lumboto. I do like him. I think he's a promising looking player. I was thinking, I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking of going up to Athlone. I know it's a stupid thing to do, but I do love watching Cork City.
There's a deli there that have amazing rolls, actually. I'll think of the name, I sent it to you. It's worth a trip.
Mm-hmm. That is good. What I'm interested in, there's a bar there, Sean's Bar. It's like the oldest bar in Ireland or something.
It's good crack. There's a class beer garden out the back as well. It is good. Like,
that's the main thing I want to go to Athlone for, because it's just cool.
There's a few decent bars around Athlone.
I was only there once.
When have you frequented many nightclubs or bars in Athlone?
No, I haven't been out in Athlone, but I do like the spot. As in, like, the ground is alright, and you know, you can't really give out about Athlone, like, you know, it's grand.
Decky, you look like a man who could give out about Athlone.
Give out about anything, but Athlone's one of the better grounds, possibly the best ground in the division when you take in the car parking and everything, you know, that's available to you there. Good facilities, stands are covered, shops available, toilets available, as I said, car parking and plenty of it. So, saying on the game itself, like, they haven't won in 4. They've only scored once in those 4 games. They lost in Cove 1-0 last weekend. 0-0 draw at home to Treaty in their last home game. 1-1 away at Athlone, and another 0-0 at home to Kerry. So their last 2 home games have both been 0-0 draws. Like, it's a big, wide, open pitch. And I know it's AstroTurf, and I know we lost up there twice, both away games, the last time we were in this division. But like, there's no excuse to me for not winning this game.
The time before as well, didn't Bolger score outside the box in the last minute? Aaron Bolger, do you remember?
Yeah,
we actually haven't got a great record up there.
Yeah, that's true. No, actually. So yeah, we have. Like, I just, there's no excuses. There's never an excuse in this division. But as I said, it's a big open pitch, and obviously they're used to that. But there's more like Barry Robson had a moan about the size of the pitch in Bray. This is the biggest pitch he's going to see all season. So get natural wide men out there, hog the sidelines, get overlapping full backs, go at them, go attack them, play football. Get balls in the box, find Shawnee. There's like Shawnee's movement, Shawnee's speed of thought will give him more advantages on the bigger pitch because, as I said, there's more space to find, more areas to run into. There's greater, the defensive players have to cover a greater amount of ground, which Shawnee can exploit. Like, as I said, there's never an excuse, but for me, there's no excuse up here. Like, just one thing, he mentioned Matt Murray came on in Longford and he scored the winners, or he got the goals in the Munster and the Munster Senior Cup game and thing. But when he came on in Longford, and I'm not having a go at Matt, but did any of the substitutions in Longford put up their hand the time they were on the pitch and say, I should be starting in Athlone? Maybe AJ Bridge? I don't think anybody else did, to be honest with you. And this is a problem. We can criticise Barry Robson all we want for not giving fellas opportunities. But when the opportunities come along, then fellas have to take them. And they have to put their hands up and say, right, I've played well here for half an hour or for the second half, whatever it might be. You now have a massive decision to make about whether you're going to start me in the next game or not. And I genuinely don't think any of our substitutions, when they come on, give the manager a tough decision to make in the following game. So, as I said, we can blame Barry all we want, and we tend to do that, but there's no one's on the players as well to make a statement to put their hand up when they do get time, and I'm not sure any of the substitutes have done that consistently this year.
All right, lastly, prediction quickly for Athlone. Decky first.
3-1 City.
Dom.
2-1 City.
Wayne.
1-0 City.
Yeah, I'd probably say 1-0 City as well. All right, now we have treaty to look forward to, lads, on the Monday. Are we doing a live pod or are we recording on the Tuesday? Anyway, I'm sure we'll figure that out.
We'll see.
I think I'll be there.
I might be in treaty. Yeah, I was going to say I think I'll be in treaty as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dom, treaty, can you give us the lowdown here, bottom of the table? Like, surely...
They're bottom of the table, but they've looked to have improved in the last few games. I do see, like, they were absolutely abysmal in the first few games and stuff, but I definitely think they're after improving. Like, will it be enough to stop? Like, all they need to do is sit in deep and frustrate us like they did the first time we played them. And if they do that, then who knows? I don't know. I don't like. Sorry, not who knows. Of course, we're going to beat them, but like, I could see it being very much a repeat of the Longford game, where they'll try and sit in against us. They'll be as compact as they can. They'll have everyone behind the ball, and we'll just be there passing the ball back and forth. Faker Kelleher and Rory Feely will be getting us more touches than anyone else on the ball. It'll be laterally because we're trying to pull them out. But the thing is, teams aren't stupid. They're not going to just open the door for us and let us in with the ball. We have to blow a fucking hole in the wall and make our way through. We just don't seem to be able to do that.
Wayne, what do you think?
Same as Athlone. There's not much to get excited about, like. I'd change it around. If Murray doesn't start on Friday, start on Monday, and just get a bit of fresh legs out there. If Mpongo starts on Friday, start Keats on Monday. Just we need 6 points in both, really, don't we? I said 1-0 against Athlone, but I actually think we're going to get a draw in one of those two games.
Yeah, do we really though? Because then, like, you have Bray beating UCD the other night, so like they're going to take points off each other all season as well.
I'm on about, like, we are getting promoted. We are going to be champions in inverted commas. Just I think to go on a roll and put the pressure off Robson and get the pressure off Keats. I'd be playing Keats.
All right.
Games.
Yeah, we don't need 6 points as such, but we deserve 6 points, and we should absolutely be getting 6 points no matter who we're playing.
6 points. That's what should be said.
Yeah, it's not like if we don't get 6 points, we won't win the league, but like we should be demanding 6 points.
Surely, if we're going to aim for Europe next year, 6 points is the minimum requirement this weekend.
Absolutely, and like, lads, you don't want to be going into the last few games in 9th place and promotion, relegation battle going on.
Right. If we're going into Europe, how much should we be beating Treaty by?
17-1.
I think a good 1-0 victory will do.
Done.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can see it. I don't want to say 1-0, but I can see it being 1-0.
Decky, you were humming and hawing. Do you want to say something before you wrap it
No,
up?
they're unbeaten in 4. They are bottom. Like as Tom says, they've improved. They're unbeaten in 4.
Danger zone.
They play Cove on Friday night. So possibly unbeaten in 5. They'll have a bit of confidence. I would just say I would start Bridge in Athlone. Keep Greg off the Astro in Athlone and stick him back in then in Treaty on Monday night. But I'm going to stick with my 17-1 prediction, I think, because obviously with all eyes on Europe, we have to make an impact somewhere along the line.
Dan, what's your prediction? You never gave him.
Oh, Jesus, doesn't matter. Let's one fucking nil. Well,
if with a 1-0, you've got a solid defensive line and you can't get relegated. You don't concede. Like, if you
we're
score one,
providing updates to the TOTAPers.
that was a once-off, I think. That was just a once-off because I'd already made them before we kind of decided not to do it. And then I said, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that concludes, finally, this episode of the Other Three Amigos podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I think more than 4 of us, be fair to say.
It's a slog. It is a slog, and we're going to get through it. And there'll be hard times like now, but there'll be glorious times next season.
When I throw a random one out,
and we win 1-0,
we make the pod bi-weekly instead of weekly.
Nah, you have to just. We crack on, you know, and like we have a standard here that we set, unlike other podcasts who don't do pods for 3 weeks. Well, we just standard of turning up every week. Like there's certain pods out there that show up once every month, like, and you get a next player on and think it's amazing, and then they don't do anything for another 3 weeks. But we go every week and we keep going. We slog it through for our listeners, our loyal Patreons.
Where are you for the fucking next 2 weeks, Wayne?
I'm away for 2 weeks. Look, that's a different story, lads. Enjoy your time in here. I'll be listening. I won't, but I will.
I'm covering Carey tonight. I have to cover him for the next 2 weeks. I mean, Jesus Christ almighty.
You only need 3 people on. Like, literally, it could have been just Dan and 2 others. It doesn't need to be 4 people. It really doesn't. Take a week off next week.
Perfect.
Let the 3 Ds sorted out next week, Decky.
Perfect.
It'll be a fucking short pod.
Right. That's what they all say. That's every time. It's always the longest ones, lads. It's always the longest ones.
Alright, we'll end it there, lads. Thanks as always. And we'll see you next week.
Adios.
Ciao.
Hey there, Toe Tapper. This podcast is sponsored by NordVPN, and we have a deal of a lifetime. So listen up. Are you still surfing the web with all your personal info hanging out? That's like going to Fountainstown with your Mickey dangling for all to see. But fear not, my digitally exposed friend. NordVPN is here to hide your pecker. With NordVPN, you can cloak your online presence faster than the club counts gate receipts. Say goodbye to those pesky ad trackers and hello to streaming shows from all over the globe. Want to watch a dodgy stream without it buffering? NordVPN might just make it happen. And hackers trying to steal your data? They'll have better luck finding Kimberly Mikado in the tea room. NordVPN's got more layers of security than the VIP section on match day. So what are you waiting for? Get NordVPN today and surf the web with style, security, and a sprinkle of quirkiness. Go to nordvpn.com/TOTAP for our exclusive deal. It's practically free. You miserable.